understanding the purpose of God, we have to see what God is doing in the larger scheme of things. Most of the time when trouble comes to us, we become so immersed in the trouble that we forget that there's something greater that God is doing, something bigger that God is doing. We understand in this particular text that Paul is leaving the auspices of the Jewish arena, and he is now moving under a greater, larger, more visible picture of the auspices of Rome. What is happening in the Middle East was very significant to the Jews and now to the new church that was birthed of the faith of the Christians. But as far as the known world, they were barely on the radar screen. It was this transition that moved the church from a religious structure to a world-impacting, influencing force. Literally changed the entire scheme of the Roman Empire because of the power of the radical conversions. This all happened by a great apostle by the name of Paul. But when he gets on this ship, this was the transition point to bring them from obscurity into the light. And I believe that right now, God has been trying to position his church and his people to move us out of the squabbles and out of the circumstances that are constantly limiting us in the religious arena of who will take the day and who will come to the forefront and who will get to lead this thing. To move out of that political mess and move into a place of being a church that fulfills the Great Commission, and that is to evangelize the world. And so when Paul got upon this ship, there was a transition that was taking place. Whenever God lays a foundation for the future, whenever he is building something, whenever he is getting ready to take the church to another level, he always calls for the two foundational ministries of the church, and that is the prophet and the apostle. If we try to build without apostles and prophets, we will not have a strong foundation. And so what God first did was brought Paul on the scene as a prophet. He came as an apostle of the uncircumcised in the religious ranks, where he had won that particular battle and had authority. But when you go into the next level in the spirit, that is not a guarantee that the authority that you had in the level that you're in is automatically going to be able to be transferable to the dimension that you're going. And that's why sometimes you have to prophesy yourself into the next dimension. You may not be able to live there immediately, but by the anticipation of what God is going to do, you have strength to deal with what you're going through right now. That's why the Bible says that he told Timothy to war a good warfare through the prophecies that have been given over him. In other words, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I've already got a word hovering over me that tells me I will get there. And if I will hold on to my future, it will help me overcome my past and give me strength to deal with my present.